Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my afternoon tea time and a card. I'm just going to give it a few seconds for everyone to find me. Hello you guys, I can see you coming on. So afternoon tea time and a card, this is episode number 41. And for those of you that are watching on Facebook, all of my videos, if you go to the top of the page, if you click on media, all of my videos are there. That's the easiest way to find them. So hello everyone. Before I get started, I just wanted to show you a few things. I'm doing something different on my blog this year during celebration and the mini catalog. So I just finished featuring, I'm doing a 7-day in a row feature on each stamp set. And because these two go together, the Berry Blessings, and that actually is a bundle along with the Berry Delightful designer paper. You can actually earn these two for free during celebration. And then the other one is Sweet Strawberry and the Strawberry Builder Punch. I just wanted to show you all 7 cards that I featured. And because our new catalog started on a Tuesday, I start on a Tuesday each week. So you saw me do this one during the Facebook Live last week. This is my my bookmark corner fold. The bookmark pops out there. And yes, I did fix my strawberries. I had them upside down, and that was the inside. This one is like a little box top fold. It opens just like a box top. Whoops, I got it. No, I don't have it upside down. I thought I did. So you can see that it's just 4 flaps. And for those of you that order from me during the month of January, you're going to get 16 free project sheets. And this was my card that I featured in the project sheets. This one I did the little blueberries along with the designer paper. This one I did as a almost like a shadow box. I glued this in place with the foam adhesive sheets for height. And then I added my strawberries on the inside. Here's another one where I used the punch and the designer paper for my strawberries. And then I did a little bit of sponging in the background there with our new blending brushes. This is one with a little 3D strawberry. It actually does fold flat for mailing. It's just 3 strawberries glued together back to back. And then the last one, I made my own designer paper and I used my Stampin' Blends markers. Now, let's see, today's Wednesday. Yesterday, I started featuring the Hey Chick and the Hey Birthday Chick. Now, for those of you guys that are not demonstrators, you'll be able to purchase these starting February 2nd. Now, if you've been with Stamping Up for a while, we had this stamp set back in 2017 as a celebration item. We're bringing it back, and we have the dies to go with it. And look at all the beautiful dies. I especially like the chicken wire. And then we have the little chicken coop that is really cute too. It's got detail on it. But look at all the dies on that one. So this one is the Hey Chick. This one is the Hey Birthday Chick. So it's got the same chick images, but they're positioned differently. This guy right here really cracks me up. You can see him here sniffing the cupcake. And then we have dies that go with those. And what I like about this one, there's a little fence. There's a little the little, what do you call the birthday paper? I can't remember what it's called that you twirl. And then there's a little sack. I actually used this one on the card that I featured today. So I started yesterday featuring both of these stamp sets on my blog, and you'll see it on Facebook. So you'll see 7 different cards, and I'll show them to you next week. So February 2nd, you guys can order as a bundle and save 10%, or you can order individual products. Okay, let's get started for this week's project. I'm doing a spinner card. I'm going to be using the Sweet Ice Cream and the Ice Cream Cone Builder Punch. Let me bring the card in. So the reason it's called a spinner card, you can see that it sits in an open window. And what you do when you send this to someone, you actually spin it as tight as you can. You lay it flat, put it inside the envelope, and when they dig it out, just watch the ice cream cone. It's going to spin. See how it spins? So I'm going to show you how I made this. Let me dig out all of the products we need. I'm using the Resin Hearts embellishments, Pretty Peacock ink pad. I've got some linen thread, some tear and tape, and then I've got some cardstock, and I'm using the largest circle from the Layering Circles dies. I'm just hopping over to get my die cutting machine because I do need that. And then for cardstock, I have Rich Razzleberry 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You know what? I don't think this piece is long enough. Let me get another piece. Hold on. I just realized I could tell just by looking at it that it was way too short, so I'm going to have to cut a piece. So what you want is 5.5 by 8.5. I must have grabbed the wrong one because I usually cut 2 pieces when I'm cutting and getting ready for class. And then we've got the designer paper. I've got quite a few pieces. So 5 1/4 by 4, 2 pieces, 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, 5 1/4 by 1 inch. This one I'm going to use for punching, a piece of white for stamping, and I've already gone ahead and cut my circle out of the basic white. And I also cut one out of scrap paper. I'm going to show you why. It's just a little tip that I'm going to show you today to make it easier for cutting. So let me go ahead and bring my scoring tool in. Let me make some room. I've got too much stuff here. Okay, here's my scoring tool. So I'm going to score at 2 1/8. And 4 1/4. Again, 2 1/8, 4 1/4. And what I want to do is create the hole in the middle, but I want to glue my designer paper in place first. So I'm going to bring those 2 pieces in. I want to cut through both layers. Let's see, I think I'm going to do the opposite this time. So I'm going to do the polka dots on the front. I love this sheet right here. It's so pretty. I'm going to add that between the 2 score lines. And then I'm going to add the other piece on the inside. And then we're going to go ahead and cut the hole on the front. So as you can see, I am gluing the patterns opposite to what I have on this card. This one even has little splatters all over it. That's what I like the most. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and fold on the score line. So this is a Z fold. We're going to fold this way and then fold the opposite way. And the reason I have a scrap piece cut out with the circle, I'm going to actually, I'm going to actually fold it in half. It's just a little trick to make it easier for you to center your circle. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. And I'm going to put this on my card. And that's going to serve as my pattern to cut out my circle. Now let me go ahead and bring my die cutting machine. Okay, so I'm going to need plate 1, plate 2, a clear plate. Oh, this one says embossing folder only. I don't want to mess that one up because look how nice and pretty that one is. Now when I put this in, this circle is going to tell me where I want to position my die. So that way it'll be nice and centered. I am going to bring in a piece of washi tape. Just a little tiny piece. I'm going to tape that to the circle. Now I can use this plate on top because it's not going to mess it up. I'm going to run it through twice because I'm cutting through 2 layers. I might not have to, I'm not sure. And then you'll see when I take this out, my circle is perfectly centered because I had the pattern to help me. Now the next thing I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and do my stamping on the circle that goes on the inside. And what I purposely did when I did this, I made sure when I put my ice cream down that it was going to cover the sentiment. See how that happens? So now only because I know where to stamp it, I can do it before I glue it down. So I'm going to put that right about there. Whoops. Let's try that again. And then I'm going to go ahead and add just a few little dots, confetti. And now I want to close this up and actually glue my circle right in that hole. Okay, that's going to go right there. Now we can work on the ice cream cone. On this one here, I used I think it was Bermuda Bay. This time I'm using the Pretty Peacock. I just wanted to see what darker would look like. Now when I do my ice cream cone, I'm going to look at my punch first to see the position of the ice cream part. I know that I want to stamp sideways. So I'm going to ink my stamp, and I'm going to actually do it twice without re-inking, so that one is lighter than the other. And I'm going to go ahead and punch. So there's the dark one. Now I'm just going to go ahead and snip that off. I had to put some spit on my finger so I could move that cardstock piece. Now I need, oh actually, you know what? I should have cut that paper in half because I need 2 of each. Let's dig out another piece of cardstock. I forgot, because you have to do back to back. You have to do the front and the same on the back because it flips. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to cut a piece. And I'm going to do this one more time. So a dark one and a light one. I was supposed to cut that cardstock in half. I just forgot. Okay, there's another dark. Wet my finger. I could make a little handle like I've shown you guys before. And now I need 2 of the little ice cream cone that I'm doing with the designer paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1 and 2. Okay, so we have all our pieces. I need to go ahead and assemble my ice cream cone. Whoops, I got one missing. Okay, so now I'm going to do my first one. I'm going to add the dark piece first. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the lighter piece on top as my second layer. So we have a double ice cream cone. And then we need to add the linen thread. You can see that I have linen thread between both layers. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that in. I'm just going to cut a piece. I'm going to flip this over and add tear and tape. I'm going to go ahead and remove the backing. And I'm going to press this in place so it's right in the center. And then my next step, wait, I need to move it over just a tad, right there. My next step, I'm going to actually glue the other ice cream cone pieces back to back. So I'm going to start out with the ice cream cone. That's why it's good to use liquid glue on this, because you can move it. There's scoop number 1. And I'm going to add some more on top here. And there's scoop number 2. So you just need to make sure everything's lined up on all the edges. Okay, so now we have our double-sided ice cream cone. Let me go ahead and move this. Now, I need my other designer paper right here. This is my 1-inch piece. Now, what I did, I wanted my designer paper not to be one piece, because sometimes it doesn't fold right when you fold. So I actually added a piece on the back to hold the linen thread in place. So what I'm going to do now is flip this over. I'm going to add tear and tape to the 2 folds right on the fold line, each section. I'm going to take that apart. We're going to add the ice cream cone right on the fold line. And then I'm going to take this and cover that. Wait a minute. Let me make that easier. It needs to go all the way to the top, and I didn't have it all the way up. So I just cut that in half. Make sure it's pressed down really good, because your spinner's gonna turn, so you don't want it to fall apart. And now I'm just gonna flip this over and cut. There's my first one. Make sure you don't cut the string off when you're doing this. I just need to pull this up a little bit. I have it down just a little too low. Okay, so there's my little spinner part. Now my last step, I need to find my bling. What did I do with my bling? I love these little resin hearts. And you guys, if you need a different color than the red and the white, you can color the white ones with your blends markers. So don't forget that you can do that. I'm going to add a little heart to each side. And then trim my linen thread. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add glue to my designer paper. I just have just the middle part is glued down. One more right here. And let me just push down with my bone folder. And there's the little spinner card. Now you are going to need, because you have the designer paper on the back, you're going to need to fold this again on the score line. Okay, there you go. There's my card for today. So let me leave this one open so you'll know how that works. And that's how it looks when it's folded over. So just remember, when you put it inside the envelope to give to someone, make sure you spin this as tight as you can go. So I would do this, lay it flat, put it inside the envelope, And then when they open the envelope, just keep an eye on that. It's going to spin. See how that spins? So that's what you need to do as you put it inside the envelope. Just keep spinning it, lay it flat, and then it's all set to go. So that's my project for today, everyone. Now next week, don't forget that I'm doing my monthly Stamp With Me class. If you look on the events tab on Facebook, I have all of the supplies that you guys need if you want to stamp along with me. So thanks for joining me today, everyone. Have a good week.